everyone, my name is Abby Lee. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have another special guest.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's great to be back here with Abby from Sugar Plum & Co. My name is Ray from Ray on the Mic. I'm a professional MC, host, and hype man, but I'm glad to be here to share experiences and tips on Bachelor and Bachelorette parties and how to bring it.
Before we dive into this video, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Sugar Plum & Co. and my personal at HiAbbyLee. And then,
if you guys want to find me, I'm on Instagram. You guys can find me at Ray on the Mic, R-A-Y, on the M-I-C.
There you go.
A lot of people put Ray on the Mic, M-I-K-E.
Really?
Yeah.
Ray on the Mic. So in our last video together, we kind of came up with this idea to talk about Bachelor and Bachelorette tips, stuff from like our experiences. So this is what we're gonna do. Hopefully it's helpful to you guys.
You know, find some cool ways on how to elevate your Bachelor and Bachelorette party.
Our first point in the Bachelor/Bachelorette planning process is who plans it. So I think if you like Google it, or the first initial thought is like your maid of honor or best man, right? I think should plan it. But I've been to a couple where yes, the maid of honor leads it out and kind of does all the logistics and the voice of reason, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think yes, the best man and maid of honor should like lead it out, but it's not necessarily all on them.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, the best man, maid of honors are the ones who kind of get thrown that responsibility right off the bat just because of tradition or on the internet. From experiences that I've had, I think the best man is the person who might help kind of organize everything, put everyone on an email chain, be the liaison between the groom and the rest of the crew that's going.
Let's say the maid of honor is just like a complete spaz and super unorganized, and they don't actually plan it. There's someone else in the wedding party that is more of a natural planner who this is just something that they just do, so they kind of delegate that. So I think if it's a thing, if you're a maid of honor or best man, this is just not your jam, I think it's okay to have that conversation with like the bride, the groom, or whatever, and be like, hey, like I'm still gonna be involved, but this also isn't like my strong suit.
No, yeah.
I've heard that.
No, yeah, and I think it's a good thing to kind of recognize early on, because I've heard stories where the best man, 3 months right before they're supposed to go is like, hey, I can't do it anymore. My own brother was my best man. But he didn't plan my party. He just wasn't old enough. So topic number 2, who should you invite on your Bachelor and Bachelorette party? Is it the groom and the bride who decides on it? Is the best man the maid of honor? Who decides on who's gonna go and who do you invite? Bridal party, is it friends? Is it some of the guests? Is it co-workers? How big is it going to be? And then, who you invite depends on the kind of activities you're gonna do. If you're gonna invite your father or your mother, do you wanna do something that's a little bit more friendly? In that case, do a spa day, maybe not go to a nightclub. For me, I think you invite those that are closest to you. My personal is I like anything under the number 10. Because I feel like logistics-wise, where you're gonna stay, transportation is just a little easier, but it all depends on what the groom wants. Think about dynamic. Right, and
also true.
And I wouldn't say don't invite somebody because you don't think the dynamic's gonna be well. If you're gonna have 2 different sets of friends, maybe you do a little get together before the bachelor party or the party so that you guys are familiar with one another before you go.
The dynamic, it just plays into like the atmosphere, and I've seen this before too. I've been to bachelorette parties and I'm like, oh, you definitely know who are like, it's like 2 separate parties, and I get it. So I definitely think doing something like meet before, or even when everyone gets there, do some type of like intro or something. Yeah. You need to break the ice.
Now here's my thing. This is the one that I've come across a lot recently, is joint bachelor and bachelorette parties. So that's another thing that you might want to discuss about is, if you're going to be doing a joint bachelorette party because maybe the bridesmaids and the groomsmen, there's a lot of couples that are in there, that might be something that you might want to think about. One piece of advice I'm gonna tell you guys, it's not about you guys, okay? Just remember that. Whatever you might want to do at the party, just because you want to do it necessarily isn't something that you should go and do. It's about your groom and what he wants to do, and your bride and what she wants to do. Just remember that at the end of the day, that trip is for the person getting married, so don't forget about that.
Not about you.
It's about them, and you're being invited to celebrate with them, for them. Don't lose sight of that, and do whatever you can as a guest at a wedding and as a guest on The Bachelor, any festivities that you're invited to leading up. Do whatever you can to help, elevate that experience and those memories for them, because you're ultimately being a part of their love story that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. Another tip that I have for those that are invited, wherever you guys go, leave everything back home at home. You know, when you're on this trip, you know, throw everything back. You know, whatever drama you have, stress, you're there to party, it rubs off. You go to a bachelor, bachelorette party, and then like the first thing that hits are people like, oh man, I'm having so much drama. It's like, you do that shit at home, bro.
Topic number 3 is when to go. Okay, so do you go right after you get engaged? Do you go the week before your wedding? No. Okay, so I would say between like 1 to 4 months. For 1, you want to enjoy the high of your engagement, right?
Yeah.
For 2, you should plan your wedding first. Book your venue, book your coordinator, book your MC. Because I think it's the worst thing if you go on like your bachelorette party and it's like, oh, you're still stressing about.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't book my florist or
No,
whatever. I always say, okay, in the beginning, do the big ticket items. Go on your bachelorette party. When you come back, then you can do all like the little details. So don't do it too soon. I think if you do it too late, then you might come back sunburned. You might come back injured. I've seen that too.
Yeah. At least 4 months, 3 months, you still have some time to heal. So you want to still have the high of the bachelor, bachelorette party, leading with the momentum into your wedding. Topic number 4. How do you decide on where to go? Where are you going to go? Who decides that? You definitely want to ask your bride or your groom on where they prefer going. And going back to the topic of, make sure it's all about your bride or groom. Ask them where they would prefer. Is it going to be tropical? Do they want something where it's kind of cold? What's important? Alcohol, activity.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
Every bachelor party that I've been on, the groom will kind of say, this is where I prefer going. Hey guys, what do you think? Taking that into consideration. Depending on where you're going, you gotta have time for a passport. Is anyone expecting a kid? Right? So if anyone's expecting a kid,
this is a thing.
Right?
It's
You don't
a
want to
thing.
go too far.
Right.
I was just recently on a bachelor party and we went international, but we didn't want to go too far, too East Coast, to where the person that was about to have a kid still had, a small travel distance to come back for the birth of his kid. I mean, Vegas is always a popular location, but wild, calm. Maybe you go to Seattle because there's a lot of breweries, or Oregon because there's a lot of breweries. Did you know Portland, Oregon is the most strip clubs per capita?
Yes, it is.
Every corner you turn, and you can actually have dinner at a strip
Yes.
club.
People go on dates there.
Question.
Yes.
So where are all the locations that you guys have been to for bachelor and bachelorette parties?
Oh man.
What was the best one?
So I've been, I've been to most of them. I think I've been to like 4. No, I've been to like 7 Vegas ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all the ones I've been on have been Vegas. I've been to one in San Francisco. I love Vegas.
Abby is so Vegas that I was in Vegas once, a separate trip, and I was in the pool and I looked to my right and Abby's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, you're here? Like,
Yes, I'm always here.
I go back. Shout out to my boys, by the way. I've been to San Francisco.
Yeah. San Francisco was fun.
Yeah, San Francisco. I've been to Palm Springs. Palm Springs is really fun.
Yeah.
One of the first bachelor parties that me and my guys went to was in Vegas. That one set the tone for everybody else because we did, the suite the night
Can I
before.
also
we
say
did,
this?
but yeah.
Vegas for guys versus girls is very different.
Yes, and guys, you should know this already.
Very different. I've gone to
Yeah.
a guy's bachelor party in Vegas. I was like, holy.
Phil, do not go in the bathroom.
Al, just calm down. Sweet.
Phil, there is a tiger in the bathroom.
What's going on?
One of the best ones I've been to, Portland, Oregon. Yeah, Portland, Oregon was a good time. It's the home of Nike. And here's
Soft
another
plug.
Here's another option for you guys. If you guys really love Vegas, but money is a thing for you guys, I would say look at Arizona. I had my bachelor party in Scottsdale. Money that you would spend in Vegas would take you to a whole nother level.
Topic number 5, top locations. I asked this question on my Instagram. I got a lot of Tulum. I'm seeing that a lot. Like Cancun, Vegas is obviously really popular. I've seen a lot of San Francisco.
Really?
Like San Francisco, Napa, because I see that. And Austin.
Texas.
I went to Austin
Oh.
like a couple years ago. It's probably one of my most favorite cities, like for like. They have this street called Dirty Six, and it's pretty much just a street of like bars, and they close the road because everyone just gets
Oh, and you just
so
walk.
inebriated. Yeah, and it kind of has like a Vegas feel because there's so many people, but it's just not as expensive.
Same thing with Arizona.
Yeah.
In Old Town Scottsdale, they'll shut off the road. They drive you around in golf carts, actually. So you're saying Tulum, Cancun, Austin,
Yes, Vegas.
Vegas and San Francisco.
Yes.
When I asked it on my Instagram, I got a lot of international. I got Dominican Republic, Colombia, and then Costa Rica. I had Cabo,
Okay.
jump in there. I think one of my siblings jumped in and said Catalina.
They must have different demographics.
No.
Last topic is money, the average cost, budget, etc., etc. According to the knot for girls at least, $1,400. Your airfare, your hotel or Airbnb, the alcohol, the food, the going out. You're gonna go to like one nice dinner. Outfits, right? The decor, because girls, obviously, aesthetic. You need to spend money on like the decor aspect, and also like paying for the bride, because the bride should be paying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think 1,400 is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say for us guys, the ones that I've all been to, we've always started out with $1,000, either with or without travel. So hey, put $1,000
Right.
aside just for all the activities,
Right.
not including airfare. Because if
Yes.
you think about it, and it's not to say that's a lot, it's not to say it's little. I mean, the groom, the
Yeah.
bride, you don't want them to pay for anything. It's
Yeah.
their trip, pay for
Please
everything.
know this. They
Yeah.
should not pay
They should not pay for anything. And if they want to pay for it, don't let them pay for it. So that gets split.
Yes.
But I think as soon as you figure out who you want to invite,
Yes.
when you're going to go,
Yes.
where you're going to go,
Yes.
then you want to say right off the bat,
Right.
at least 1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that should cover everything, and depending on when you're going to go, that should give you enough time to hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, to save up for that. I've been on bachelor parties where, and guys, take note of this, best men, take note of this pair, the best men, there was like 2 or 3 of them, covered a lot of additional costs that ended up happening on the trip. Added activities that got thrown in, and the best men picked up the tab. And from till this day, I've heard that some of the funds actually haven't even been recouped. But you know, and for those that are maybe budget friendly and you don't want to spend as much, you know, you don't have to necessarily spend 1,000 to
No.
1,400.
No.
You can always, you know, make it a little bit more local. Say if I go on a bachelor party or a bachelorette party and say, you know, we are going to do a bunch of activities, but I can't afford certain activities. Do I go? Do I not go?
I've seen it a couple different ways, right? Where I've seen where like, okay, if you can't afford to go to the whole thing, then they go for at least one day. I've also seen it where they just told them up front, like, I'm just not in the place to, you know, go. Then they kind of just do their own little thing with like the bride. Like they go to dinner, they have like their own little local weekend, whatever. However, I will say this, and this should be like another video. If you are accepting the honor, whatever, the job of being in a bridal party, you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
Ooh, that's definitely a whole nother topic.
That's like a whole other topic
Yeah.
because this is a part of it. And when you're saying yes to this, like we said earlier in the video, there's this, it's a whole year of just these events for your best friend, right? And you want to be there. And if you know that you're not going to be in the place where you can't save or whatever it is, then respectfully be like, hey, I would like love to, but I just like, I'm not financially there.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not.
Because you're still looking out for your bride and groom. Thanks for having me on the channel, Sugar Plum & Co. and Abby. I appreciate you guys allowing me to stop by and talk about Bachelor and Bachelorette parties.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please let us know in the comments below if it was helpful and what parts were helpful. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Sugar Plum & Co. and at Hi Abby Lee. Bring the mic.
At Round Mike.
There you go. And like and subscribe and do all the things.
Yeah. And have fun at your Bachelor or Bachelorette
Yes,
party.
that too.
Have fun.
That too. Have fun.
Cheers.
Ding, ding, ding.
Cheers.
Happy hour has started early here at Sugar Plum HQ.
I had a mango one. Changed my life.
Cheers, cheers,
Oh,
cheers.
Shakalaka. Oop, there it is.
It's alright.
Ends up on the floor.
Topic.
I'm joking, I can do it.
Yes, yes, yes. And then maybe when we're Abby's drinking and then Ray's smiling. I have to completely redo this.